Hi, I'm Carl Croft. I'm Managing Director of Croft Architecture. I'm here to explain to you some of the usual consultants that you will require on your building project. Obviously you will have an architect first and foremost, and commonly we as architects we take on the role of principal designer. Principal designer, you might ask, what's that? Well, principal designer isn't necessarily the architect. It's a person who is responsible for providing pre-construction information to the contractor so that they can manage the project in terms of keeping everybody safe on site. So the pre-construction information will identify any hidden hazards, asbestos for example, maybe in a building, and so we help to assemble all of that information to hand over to the contractor. So in terms of asbestos, it's a legal requirement to get an asbestos survey to any existing building if you're planning to do refurbishment or if you're planning to do demolition to a building. If you don't do it, you can get into trouble with HSE, and it is a criminal offence as well. So you do need to be very careful about that. Typically, if you're doing structural works, you'll need some structural input, some structural design from a structural engineer. They're the specialists involved in testing and calculating sizes of beams, construction details with regards to steel connections and things like that. You will also need input if you, assuming you want to control the costs on your project, and most people do, you'll need some quantity surveying input. So a quantity surveyor is a building cost consultant. They are the people that really tell you at an early stage in the process what is the likely cost of your works at the end of the project. You'll also need some input from a services engineer, and the services engineer will design the electrical installation, and they will design the what we call the mechanical installation. So electrical's obvious, it's your lights, your switches, your sockets. The mechanical being the central heating system, the plumbing and all of that kind of thing. Typically, if you're looking to do a small home extension project, you may not need a services engineer for that, but as you get more complicated, larger buildings, then specialist equipment is required, and typically they'll get involved in the assessment of energy efficiency. So those are a few of the usual suspects, if you like. Planning may require you to get further reports and information like tree survey, bat survey, or wildlife survey, and there can be a number of other consultants that are required, like flood risk assessment depending on where you are, or if you're in a listed building you may need a heritage statement and that kind of thing. The best thing to do is speak with your architect nice and early about the requirements of your project, and they'll help you to tailor and assemble the team to meet your needs on the project. So that's all for now. If you've got any questions or comments, get in touch, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. It's Carl Croft, Croft Architecture. Thank you.